Hey guys, it's Nick. Thanks for tuning in to Game 4 of CrossRoads GT. This is going to be a quick one. Let's dive right on in. So I'm going to be playing against Lizardman, the only lizard player at the tournament. This is a King of the Hill sort of scenario with bonuses and bonus points with being the most bodies near the King of the Hill token. Pretty simple scenario. So for magic, we got Warp Lightning, and then Curse of the Horde and Rat, Blessed with the Filth, Cloud of Corruption, and Vermintide. Cloud of Corruption is wonderful versus all those little skinks, that Cloud of Skinks. Vermintide too, so I've got two great spells for dealing with those skink clusters, skink clouds. And I believe he has all of these signature spells if I remember correctly. Either that or High Magic, I don't remember, I really don't, but I don't think it really matters. So here's deployment, a little bit of a blurry picture, but I go all here in the right hand corner. You can see the shock top cap in the middle is our objective marker, and this player I think, based on this game, he was a newer player, and you'll see with some of his decisions, including putting those little skinks so close to me, the chameleon. But actually no, not a new player. He just says he's never played against Skaven, and unfortunately I have to exploit that, and I go ahead and do that as much as possible. Looking through his deployment quickly, we got skinks, and then a bus of Colbun Knights with a can opener lord inside. We resume focus, and then we see more skinks, a salamander hunking pack, the two chameleon skinks in the middle battlefield, and then Temple Guard with plenty of, plenty of Temple Guard. But we got the Slan in there, level 4, BSB General. So turn 1 for the Skaven, I go right on into it. I move up as quickly as possible. I got my double Bonebreaker Lord, Storm Vermin, and the Hellpit Abominations making a run towards the enemy. The Rat Dart to the left is just chilling. Everyone else is coming in as quickly as they can. I roll 1 inch short of hitting the Chameleon Skinks, which I think was probably better because if I hit them and then overrun, I would have, gotten maybe too close to the enemy. But this, this is okay. So magic, I actually get Vermintide off, and I roll pretty far enough to hit both of those two units, doing 3d6 strength 2 attacks, I believe, and that's enough to cause some panic and some fleeing. So with cold-blooded and a BSB nearby and General's leadership, he actually fails that, so they go ahead and run off the table. Other than that, I'm pretty happy with my formation, and we move on into his turn 1, where I go ahead and pop the Storm Batter. So the scariest possible thing is about to happen, and I guess I deny all of his stuff of magic, so we move on into shooting. The Salamander rolls up a misfire, which is amazing. Otherwise, he's going to torch this unit of Storm Vermin, which would have been an issue because some well-placed magic missiles and shots on the Hellpits could bring them down. And without that brick of Storm Vermin, I would probably end up losing. But a lucky misfire allows my Storm Vermin to live just a little bit longer. Moving on quickly, though, we go back to my turn 2. Storm Banner is done. And this is what my movement looks like after some charges. So I have the Hell Pits. Well, I have a charge with the one of the Bonebreaker Lords. I decide I got to take out that Salamander hunting pack, and I didn't feel like having the Hell Pit run into him because he would go in some random direction. So I got this Bonebreaker Lord running solo, because if he could hit that, kill it, and then overrun into those skinks, that would be wonderful. Both these hell pits go ahead and charge these skink skirmish units, and again, I don't believe my opponent was familiar with the random move and how versatile they could be, because now I'm just turning sideways, random directions, and hitting into these things, which will give me some solid overruns, or so I hope. And we could just back up a little bit here just to see a little bit of a bigger view. The chameleon skinks are dying, the ones that are chilling out in the middle. The other guys are coming in, but the big units in the back are still kind of hanging out, so that's fine. My slaves decide not to charge the chameleon skinks. I'm not sure why, but I am trying to keep my bunker unit, safe, because once you start shooting at them with the skinks, they'll probably start melting, and I want to keep that Grace Tier and BSB alive as long as possible. Oh, and the gutter runners on the top of the screen came in. They're going to start shooting away at the skinks. In the conclusion of my turn, I do get overruns, not enough to hit the Temple Guard, but that's fine. The other one does go ahead and hit the Source Warriors, which is great. I want to get an impact onto them because they've got high armor. And then the Bonebreaker Lord goes ahead and overruns after killing the Salamander Hunting Pack into the Skinks behind. And they're stubborn now. Funny thing, they're stubborn in the forest, which actually I believe allows them to stick around just a little bit longer. So my opponent gets a little desperate and goes ahead and charges into the Hell Pit. I guess better that than take impact hits. However, he is stubborn, so if he doesn't kill him, that'll be an issue. And nothing else is really going on. Stubborn Skinks are just keeping up my Lord, keeping him busy in the forest. I'm able to keep all of his magic away. I believe since he has Lore Master, he tries getting a bunch of different little spells off, and I'm able to be denying him at every angle and corner, which is wonderful. In combat, I do take 3 wounds on the Hell Pit Abomination, but he has higher initiative, so he did get to go first and do some smashing. Hell Pit to the left kills an entire rank of cold ones, but he does take 3 wounds in the process. Next round of combat, I guess nothing was really going on in Magic Phase worth noting, and I do have a Hell Pit that goes ahead and drops to this hero. I do manage to kill the rest of the unit, so it's just him chilling out, and I am able to at least chaff him up with a Rat Pack that decides to drop. So fast forwarding a bit here, the slaves to the right just kind of move around. Chameleon Skinks are coming in to try to do some wounds onto the bunker unit, and they try to dwindle it down a little bit. I do have some slaves to the left, keeping them busy. Red Dart and Pack is just chilling out. The hero on Cold One do join the Temple Guard unit after the Temple Guard unit is able to kill the Hell Pit Abomination, which is nuts. The Bonebreaker Lord and the Gutter Runners do take out the rest of those Skinks and go ahead and move through the forest towards the capital unit. So my Gracier is placed at the bottom right-hand part of that card, and he does go ahead and get a Cloud of Corruption off, which pretty much affects everybody. Oh, and I'm sorry, it doesn't look like that hero was in the unit. It looks like he went ahead and charged the Storm Vermin, I guess to keep him busy. Or I charged him, not sure. But anyway, Cloud of Corruption will go ahead and hit just about everybody, which is wonderful. A wound is dealt to the Lord on Cold One, and then I do dwindle the unit of Temple Guard just a bit. And the engineer over to the right goes ahead and gets a Warp Lightning and gets that onto the Chameleon Skinks over here, so I finish them off. And then a Bless with Filth onto the Storm Vermin, so I have a Stellar Magic Phase ready to rock and roll in combat. So the inevitable happens, this combat happens, or he charges me, I charge him, whatever the case. We go ahead and start grinding away. The inevitable doesn't happen as quickly as I hoped, but there is a few cold ones left, so they're stubborn, and I only end up having 1 wound still on that Lord, so he does pretty good at keeping him alive. Left unit of slaves is making their way towards the King of the Hill marker, and my bunker goes around to turn around to maybe charge the Skinks, just in case that's something I decide to do. Gutter runners are just running around. Now that the other Bonebreaker Lord makes his way into combat, he goes ahead and eats up the rest of the Temple Guard, and now we just have the Slot and the hero left. And this is the final picture I have here. It's tabling. I go ahead and finish off the heroes, run them down. Fun player, good opponent. He knew his rules pretty well. He just wasn't familiar with Skaven, and he was very upfront with that, which is great. This way I kind of explained a little bit as we went along, but at the same time, revealing that allowed me to know that he didn't know some of my rules, so I did have to take advantage of some of that. But it's a good fight, and I get max points, 20, and then whatever it was for the King of the Hill marker, and then we'll go on to predictions, see who was right, who was wrong. So I got a solid win here, so Vince was wrong, but we got a bunch of wins in there. Everyone predicted wins. They saw the Skink Cloud in the teaser and realized, hell, that should be pretty easy to run through. Matt S., his streak has been destroyed now that he has gotten 2 wrong. And Ice King had no faith in me against this freaking army of Skinks. So, but you know, once you get through the Skinks and you can get to the Cold One unit and the Temple Guard, it's pretty easy to win. But that Temple Guard unit, if it's kept behind Skinks and out of combat, and the Cold Ones actually did what they needed to and get some solid charges, could have been a different game. Both Hell Pits do go down though, which is an accomplishment for any player, but we do, it's not enough to, you know, yield him any points. But hey, that's game 4. Awesome victory for myself, and I'll see you guys in game 5.